So we must do two things, two great things together to encompass that enormous new view that lies before us, but to encompass it within the framework of science, to see it within the whole categorical framework of science, and to see that these two are not separate, but that they are wedded. The bigness of the idea, the newness of the idea, the greatness of it is one with the structure of science, the structure of being itself. And then we come to the, what did everything look like in the oneness of being, because he had been crucified. Now we come to love as love, showing us that in the oneness of being, life is impelling something forth. What is it impelling? This now is the success. It's all success, but this is success that looks like success. We have success that doesn't look like success. The irrepressible impulsion of life proves that the life of man is deathless. So Jesus reappears to his disciples. He's first of all, he is risen. This is typically the life tone, that the impulsion of life is to raise up life, to lift up life, to show the deathlessness of this man, this true man, that nothing can wipe him out. So you get the resurrection of Jesus, and then as truth, the true form of the Son of God is an unchangeable fact. Jesus reappears to his disciples. He's unchanged, untouched, with form. He has the same form, the same identity, therefore he's recognizable. He has his gestalt, his wholeness. I think, as we were talking about last night, a few of us, that he actually still has the scars, right? Why would he still have the scars, huh? To prove that it actually was him, that he actually had gone through that experience, because he could have healed himself of those scars. He came back in order to prove that he had gone through that experience. He came back because it was part of his mission as love, to show us that he was unchanged, untouched, that he would walk with us along the road to Emmaus. We have those other wonderful things going on. Just a moment. How are we doing time-wise? We're out of time, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dear. All right. Well, we'll just make it short. You see that he reappears, and finally, at the point of love, life, truth, and love, impelling love as love, at the point of love, the ultimate attractor now in this field, what is it? It's that the design of love is fulfilled. The purpose of love, the whole intention of love, is fulfilled as the universality of the Son of God. Because as he is on the verge of leaving them, of the verge of his ascension, his complete ascension out of the mortal calculus, the material calculus, he says, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. So it's a complete and eternal sense of the highest fulfillment, of a universal fulfillment that changed the calendar, a fulfillment that changed every consciousness, that changed consciousness as a whole, that changed it collectively and individually. It's the highest, most sublime fulfillment that could ever be. And he states that this universality is a universality that implies the ever-presence of the Christ with us, the omnipresent Christ with us. All right. I have just one thing that I wanted to share with you. It's really a quote from a man, a mathematician, a scientist, a physicist, by the name of Luigi Fantapié. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. I've never heard of him. He researched all manner of things. Yes, he researched all of Einstein's work, Bohr's work, non-local connections, probability, special relativity. He discovered that all physical and classical phenomena are determined by causes, which are determined by causes placed in the past, are governed by the principle of entropy. While all those phenomena which are attracted toward causes which are placed in the future, attractors, are governed by a principle which is symmetrical to entropy and which he called and named syntropy. And I want to read you one of the last things that he said. He's no longer here. He said at the conclusion of his work, "Let us conclude by looking at what we can say about life." Now, this is a man that's been into special relativity and into all of the physical science, mechanical science, mathematics, quantum mechanics. He says, let us conclude by looking at what we can say about life. What makes life different is the presence of syntropic qualities, finalities, goals, and attractors. Now, as we consider causality the essence of the entropic world, it is necessary to consider finality as the essence of the syntropic world. It is therefore possible to say that the essence of life is the final causes, the attractors. Living means tending to attractors. But how are these attractors experienced in human life? When a man is attracted by money, we say he loves money. The attraction towards a goal is felt as love. We now see that the fundamental law of life is this, the law of love. I am not trying to be sentimental, he says. I am just describing results which have been logically deduced from premises which are sure. It is incredible and touching that having arrived at this point, mathematical theorems start speaking to our heart. Isn't that beautiful?
How do you spell his last name?
It's Fantapié, Fantappie.
Was it 20th century?
Yes, up and through the 90s, 1993, he made that statement. Can I read one more thing? Huh? Fantapié stated that nowadays we see written in the book of nature, which Galileo said was in mathematical characters, the same laws of love that we find written in the holy books of the major religions. The law of life is not the law of hate, the law of force, or the law of mechanical causes. This is the law of non-life, the law of death, the law of entropy. The law which dominates life is the law of finalities, the law of cooperation towards goals which are always higher. And this is true also for the lowest forms of life. So it was true for everything. In humans, this law takes the form of love. Since for humans, living means loving. And it is important to note that these scientific results can have great consequences at all levels, particularly on the social level, which is now so confused. The law of life is therefore the law of love and differentiation. It does not move towards leveling and conforming, but towards higher forms of differentiation. Each living being, whether modest or famous, has its mission, its finalities, which in the general economy of the universe are important, great, and beautiful. Okay.